Why is our science honoring Satan? The speed of Earth's orbit is 18.5 miles per second, which just happens to be 66,600 miles per hour. Earth's curvature drops 8 inches per mile squared, which just happens to be 0.666 inches per square foot. 10 miles equals 66.666 feet. 100 miles equals 6,666.666 feet, and so on. Earth's axis of rotation in its plane of orbit around the Sun just happens to be 66.6 degrees. Both polar circles, which are located near the poles of the Earth, just happens to be 66.6 degrees. There's a 666 trillion mile discrepancy concerning the distance from Earth to Polaris, and of course the Earth is tilted at 23.4 degrees, which just happens to be a 66.6 degrees tilt from the 90-degree right angle. All of this while exploding through space at what just happens to be 2,843,666 miles per hour. Do you see the problem? We've been worshipping Satan all this time without even knowing it. The joke is on us. Such is the way of true evilness. Gravity was fabricated in 1666. The Washington Monument just happens to be 6,666 inches by 666 inches. The Pentagon just happens to be a pentagram. The Vatican, synonymous with pedophilia, just happens to have named their telescope Lucifer, and they won't let us near it. The word NASA is in the Bible. It means beguile, which means to deceive. Goddard, as in the NASA Goddard Space Flight Center, is also mentioned. It's Lucifer's original name, and it still is. NASA named their Tower of Babel, Saturn V, in honor of their god Satan, and their missions Mercury, Gemini, and Apollo were all named after false gods. And let's not forget the many human sacrifices that there were. When you give praise or money to NASA and its Goddard religion, we are literally praising and financing the Lucifer concept. Rather there's a god or not. Science named the chief wandering stars planets, so we think that there are other worlds, and then they named the so-called planets after false gods, except Earth, which is not a planet, it's a world. There is physical or phenomenal life here, and only here. There's no such thing as planets, gravity, relativity, infinite space, aliens, or even evolution. Depth is a perception and space is fake. Space is water, it's called the waters, the great deep, thrun, mayim, celestial seas or primal ocean, and it doesn't surprise me one bit that millions of people can spend their entire lives looking into the ocean with a telescope and never see any water. People have been trained to trust not their minds and eyes but their education. Water was never created, water is the medium of creation. A universe being created is redundant. There was only creation, and we are the center of creation. Man's image is not random, but his wisdom is poison. Science says the heavens and the earth couldn't be created in 6 days because it takes millions of years of secretion for planets to form, but then they tell us that the universe was created in less than a second by way of the Big Bang and superinflation measured in Planck time. In the story of creation, God rested on the seventh day. In evolution, everything came from nothing in no time at all. It seems the Bible has more respect for the laws of conservation of energy than scientists have for their own pseudoscience, their anti-biblical religion. What they need more than anything else is to gradually dumb down each new generation until we are eating out of their hands and have severed all ties with Yahweh, the Hebrew God of Israel. These people aren't just liars. Our top researchers are quite literally satanic gatekeepers.